Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Lopez from the Daily Trade. I'm here to talk about today's watch list for tomorrow, Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. We're going to be talking about a few things. A lot of stuff happened today in the market that I want you to be aware of. We have the ones that you can see here on the screen on your right side is from the live stream, right? We can see that, TDT was the top of today. Tesla, SAM, PAN, W, Melly, Coop, and so forth. And the lows were NVR, Tree, BKNG. Even though BKNG was up for the past couple days, Regen, Google. So those are the ones that are actually down for today. And we can see the most active with Neo, FCEL, Planeteer, GE, Riot, Plug, Apple. We're going to talk about a few of these, not to mention as well Boeing. So everyone's mind right now as we move along is what happened today, what happened in the past couple of days that's going to affect the rest of the week and as we head into the holidays as well. So today we're going to pretty much be covering going through Neo, Boeing, Tesla, Planeteer, Riot, and Cloudflare, right? So the first thing off is Neo had earnings today, and we already know with Neo, you can see here that Neo had their quarter four 921 million, 947 million on a consensus of 805, which is great, right? Sees quarter four deliveries between 16.5 and 17,000 vehicles. They also had their increase of over 100% from the same quarter of 2019. Pretty sure their net loss was about 300. Sorry, it was about something in the yen, but I'm not even going to concern myself with that because Chinese yen is a scam somewhat, and approximately a 35 to 39% increase from quarter three. And so Neo, with that in mind, they did report a huge net loss, yet they still had a huge increase in everything. But over the past few days, right, and probably a couple months, we've seen that Neo's had a huge run up, and everyone's been a part of it. And the earnings today pretty much distinguish, what's going to go on next, right? There was a huge, volatile area here that it wouldn't really, cause much concern besides, our algos that are freaking buying up every single level at the VWAP. So Neo did dump after earnings. It did dump towards the end of the day as well. There was probably some type of leak or something that people found and they were able to play on it. Insider trading, some type of thing right there. And it dropped off pretty hard towards the end of the day, also causing this sort of IV crush as well into earnings. So not only that, but this type of stuff is hard to go through with FOMO being a huge part. A lot of people were thinking Neo's going to, skyrocket, go towards maybe 60, 55s. It's hard, man. Neo was running for months. Neo has been running since last quarter as well, so a lot of stuff is already priced in, right? You can't really go as much as you want to unless you see very, very surprising earnings. Boeing is huge, right? We're seeing that Boeing certification news might come out tomorrow or even after hours today. Could be sometime, right? The only thing that we know is a rumor, which is pretty much that the FAA is going to release the Boeing 737 MAX. We're going to see a certification, recertification for them to continue on and move along with the MAX production and allowing it to get back into flight. Thus, allowing the company to sell more of the MAX, which is more efficient to the airline companies or even other countries for military or anything, or any military contracts here in the U.S. as well. So that's something that we really want to pay attention to because Boeing has had such a huge run up in the past few days after, first off, it had a huge jump, not only because of the certification news, but it also had that jump because of the vaccine news, which we had last week, saying that, hey, Pfizer has a 90+% rate, success rate. So that coming out with more vaccine news this week is huge for the stock market in general, but also Boeing because they need to get their airlines back up. And so we're seeing that nice action from 140s, a couple weeks ago to now we're at 210 on the stock price, which back in June was the same thing. If you traded back in June, it was pretty much the same thing running up from May, around that May 15th area and popping up all the way to that 230s. And this action could go a little bit higher if we do get some nice news and the certification news actually comes through, being that it will be a lot more positive than everyone thinks, and thus, not being so hyped up yet, it'll probably shoot for 230s, right? So that's something to look forward to as well. Going into tomorrow, we might see it halfway through the day. We might see it. Towards after hours still. So it's only FAA telling us that hey, it can come as soon as the 18th, which is tomorrow, obviously. Sorry, I didn't even show you. This is the Boeing, right? So May 15th to June, and then from 2 weeks ago to now. So it's huge. And then Tesla as well. So Tesla, obviously, last night everyone knew about Tesla's addition to the S&P 500. Tesla did have a big run up this morning. They had, or not this morning, but yesterday as well. They went from 408 after hours all the way to 460s, right? It was huge. And you can see right here that we had a nice gap up, and there was some Tesla call flow in the end of the day, and now leading it to 466. And then end of the pre-market, it still ended up dropping into the rest of the day. Yet we're still able to see some nice call action flow into today, continuing into the rest of the week, as well as December, towards the end of the year. They do get added to the S&P 500 on December 21st, which is something to look forward to, seeing that the end of the year, the end of the quarters, we're going to see a lot of action with call flow as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was last year that we had a nice run up towards the end of the year as well, after they had a really good earnings October of 2019. So that's something to look forward to as well, continuing on the year. And possibly, running up just like they did this year in February. They ran as high as I believe it was $800 in February, and then they started to topple down with the rest of the crash. So that was something that was very interesting. Not only that, but we also have Planeteer possible failure, right? So there was a article that came out saying that Planeteer, and I'll pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up. Sorry about that. So it was Soros, the Soros Fund Management, which revealed that it owns 18.4 million shares of Planeteer back in 2012. Said it probably wouldn't do the same thing again today, and that was published today. We have that. Let me pull up the chart so you can actually see it. That's not it. And you can see we pretty much got that article around this area, right? And that's when it started to drop off a little bit. And that news hasn't affected a lot of the market, right? There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be skeptical about this, seeing that, hey, this big fund management thinks that it's not okay, then I probably should be in it. And that's what a lot of people are probably going to think. They're going to see this overnight, and it's going to probably drop off over the next couple of days. Even seeing how big it pretty much pumped up through the past few days, past few weeks. I mean, I bought it on IPO day, and it was still a good price to sell up here, right? So that's what's interesting, is that we're going to see how people react to this news. Seeing that it did come towards the end of the day, it probably wasn't a huge reaction as it should have been. But we're looking more towards the downside and seeing how we can cop in some profits on the put side, which we already are in. So that's something that you should be looking out for too. And we have riot call action, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on with Bitcoin. Everyone knows that we're almost to the top again with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's getting towards that almost 20,000 mark, same as 2019, right? Or 2017, sorry. So Bitcoin is currently at, I believe, 18,000, and Riot blockchain is pretty much a part that builds off Bitcoin. So if you think about it, if more mining is happening, Riot is going to have a lot more business. They're going to be able to mine more. There's just this type of action that's going to happen with Riot. Same thing happened back in 2017 with Riot, and which is huge. So we see that Riot almost, pretty much doubled today. You went from $4 to $6 today. And back in 2017 to 2018, right, we saw September $3 all the way to almost $50, right? And that was with Bitcoin's run in the end of the year. Same thing here. A lot of buying is happening, right? And we're going to see a lot of action happening towards the end of the year. A lot of people are going to be buying up huge, right? So that's where a lot of the call flow was happening today. There was a lot of, December $8 calls. There was a lot of next year calls for it as well. There's a lot of call option flow that was coming in today as well. And I won't really cover Cloudflare as much as I should. Cloudflare, oh, I didn't even show you guys. Sorry, the chart. So that was how big we ran it today, right? We had the $4 to $6. And here's how big it got last time we ran in 2017 for blockchain. And the only thing I want to really talk about towards the end is net, right? We had Cloudflare pop up. And in the live stream, if you were here watching, you're able to see that, we were just waiting for this pop right above this area towards 65. And we got that pop towards 65. Now we're going to see how this volume is going to build up to see if we can build up towards that 70 level in the next few days. And if we do, we're going to, pop over with some either weekly or next week $70 calls. So that's something that we have to look out for as well with volume building up on it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this watch list for today. I hope you also join up in the live stream Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. You like and subscribe to the channel and pay attention because we're going to have a lot more stuff coming through and you'll be able to participate more in the live chat. Not only that, but as well coming in the Discord and come chat around with us, see live data, not only this that you see on your screen, but you're able to see more in the chat. Thank you once again, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.